This call is now being recorded.
Thank you, business partners. Today is the 5th. Oh, what am I saying? Today is the 3rd. Today is the 3rd of September 2024. That's the 3rd day, day number 3. So we quickly going to give an highlight actually of how the halving has been. We're looking at the halving of, the previous halving and the current halving that we are in terms of Bitcoin. So when you look on the screen, business partners, you will see that the chart that we have, the candlesticks that we are seeing at the moment, these are the candlesticks of a Bitcoin stroke Tether US, and then that is USDT. So that is the pair that we are looking at. We're looking at a pair of Bitcoin from Binance, and then also this is on TradingView platform, and the candlesticks are for a monthly interval. At the top left corner, you can see that we have 1H, 4H, D, and M. M, it's in blue. Blue actually indicating that the current candlestick, the ones that are active at the moment, what you are looking at a monthly time interval or time frame. So which means each candlestick, whether green or red, takes a month, to complete. That is the opening and the closing, business partners. So now with that being highlighted, what we're going to be doing now is very simple. We're simply going to highlight a few things about, let me just quickly, yes, this is what I'm talking about. I'm indicating them. I was actually looking at this from the view of Google Meet, but now I'm right on the TradingView.com platform. TradingView, it's a platform that you can easily access for free, for instance. And then, but if you want to use some more functions on TradingView, you will need to pay for the subscription, for instance. Up to you if you pay per annum or monthly. But at the moment, trading with Royal Q, you don't necessarily need to have a paid platform of TradingView. TradingView, business partners, it's a charting platform. That's where you look at charts. There are charts here for different products, so to speak, whether it be cryptocurrencies, forex, stocks, commodities, and so forth. You can always access those here. So, but now our focus is on Bitcoin market, and then we're looking at Bitcoin stroke USDT. And I just highlighted earlier that 1H, 4H. 1H is for an hourly time frame. 4H is for 4-hour time frame. D is for a daily time frame. You can see those ones are appearing in white at the top left corner there. And the one that is you see here at the moment, you see M, it's in blue, like I said earlier, which shows that the candlesticks we're looking at are for a monthly time frame, friends and business partners out there. So now you can see that I've also plotted some vertical lines. These vertical lines, the yellow ones indicate the halving of Bitcoin. It's very important. And the previous halving, apart from this one, I'm just quickly going to try and have a way to show you this. The previous halving actually took place, it was in May of 2020. And then let me just quickly do this, and then so that we look at it together. It's good if it's on, I'll just say Bitcoin halving date in 2020. Let's say we know our interest in this case is going to be on a month, because the vertical lines, business partners, are for the monthly highlights. And then we are focusing on September month, because we are in the month September right now. So in this month, it's one of those months that actually it's a month mainly that sort of marks that has always indicated the beginning of a bull run after a Bitcoin halving occurred. So it's very important that we discuss that. Now the yellow line you see there at the left-hand side, it's that is to show you the halving that actually took place before the halving of 2024. Remember, Bitcoin halving takes place every 4 years, meaning that we're in 2024. So 2024 minus 4 years, then it pushes us back to 2020, meaning that 2020 plus 4 years is 2024. Then a Bitcoin halving took place in this year, 2024, and that one was in April. It was in April this year, which was on the 20th of April, so to speak. And don't be surprised, say, for instance, when you check online, some actually say it took place on the 19th. That is actually due to time differences. Like, for instance, when you look into Royal Q application, you will see that already after 6 p.m. South Africa time, Royal Q is already counting for the next day, for instance. When you go to Royal Q, you will see that already it's giving figures or results, the profits or the gas fee transactions are actually indicating or recorded for the recording for what? For the next day, meaning here it will be the 4th of September 2024. So time difference, take that into consideration. So don't actually panic or argue if you see someone saying the halving took place on the 19th. They will be saying that due to their time difference in time zone. And now what I'm sharing on the screen with you, it's on Google. You see now on Google, on the current screen, you can see what I've typed there, business partners. It's Bitcoin halving date in 2020. So we can see that it took place on the 11th of May 2020. But now 2020 plus 4 years, it takes us to the current year in which we are, which is 2024. So I'm typing there again. I say Bitcoin halving date in 2024, which has already occurred. And then we see here it was on the 20th of April 2024. That's the halving that took place. So when we go back to our candlesticks, you're going to see that the second yellow vertical line actually is right on the candlestick of April 2024, which is just to show you that the halving has taken place. Every time after halving actually takes place, we are anticipating a bullish movement. So we'll have more time in future to talk about the dynamics of Bitcoin halving, and then the reason why the mining rewards get reduced by half, is to actually increase the scarcity of the coin, and then that contributes towards the rising of Bitcoin price. For instance, you can just imagine in South Africa around 2010, for instance, Bitcoin was around 150 rands. Halvings kept on taking place, and as we speak of today, you can see that massive things are happening in the Bitcoin price. Now Bitcoin is more than 1 million rands, and some people are telling us that this will actually, that is their projections. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions based on their analysis and all those kind of stuffs. They believe that by December this year, Bitcoin will actually pump to, it can even hit 100K. But I don't actually just, certain things you need to take with a pinch of salt, for instance, because some of you may recall that during the year 2021, when Bitcoin hit the height of $69,000, Elon Musk and many others were actually very bullish that Bitcoin was going to hit 100,000 before December of 2021, and that never actually took place. The highest that Bitcoin reached was $69,000. Now let's check for 2024. I'm typing Bitcoin halving in 2024. you can see that that is April. So 2024 plus 4, it gives us 2028. So I'm typing Bitcoin halving in 2028. You see, you don't get that information. To be precise, for instance, you see? And then these are just estimations that it might be around April. We don't know exactly if it's going to be in April of 2028 or so, because remember, the one of 2020 was in May, so it may not be 100% precise, so to speak, but we know that these are the things that we are looking forward to, for instance. So now let's go into our charts and look at what we want to highlight for our session tonight. I'm there now, back on the charts. So two colors, that is yellow on the left-hand side. The yellow on the left-hand side indicate the month May in 2020. The yellow on the right-hand side indicate the month April 2024, which is the year in which we are, where Bitcoin halving actually took place. So now, business partners, there's something that we need to highlight, or rather to take note of. You can see we also have wide vertical lines. Those vertical lines, business partners, show us September months since the halving of since the previous halving, for instance, of 2020. So now you can see that immediately after the halving of 2020, which was in May, you can see that the market, you can see at the bottom left here, you can see the market started actually rallying up like that. The market started rising and rising. Bitcoin price started pumping. You can see May, June, July, August, and then September. It's here. If you check the month where the candlestick is, or rather where the first white vertical line is, which is September of 2020, you can see that the candlestick there, business partners, is red, which shows you that for that particular month after the halving, that September actually closed bearish. It closed bearish. It means there was a temporary dip or decline, and then from there, market started pumping, and we can see that after October of 2020, up until I'm just quickly going to up until April. This candlestick here, which was the height of, which was in 2021, the year after halving. The halving was in May, and market kept on pumping and pumping. And you can see, like, for instance, from May, that is the halving, and then looking at September, you can see that the market started shooting up. And that is October. Here is November. And December of 2020, the price actually went up to 29,000 US dollars. And now you can just imagine. And when I'm to check on from the halving month, the price was around, I'll tell you just now, was around 9,000. Was around 9,000 US dollars, 10,000 US dollars there. And then it's December, then the market pushed up to almost 30,000, just imagine. Then Jan of 2021. 2021 is the year after the halving of 2020, which means we also have what? 2025. Remember, this is the last quarter of the year. So what will happen is we're anticipating a pump, but there are certain things that we need to actually consider. And that's the reason why actually we're pushing this session. So now here we are, the market pumped like that, and look at September of 2021. September of 2021, you can see that the number of Septembers that we have to date, we have according from 2021 is 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and 5. 5 is the one of 2024 now. So 5 September, so to speak, because of the cycle of 4 years. So now, now that the halving has taken place of this year, 2024, we are now in that September. We are in that September. At the moment, I'm looking at the market currently. When you look at the current month, which is this September, you can see our candlestick is red at the moment. It's bearish, but there's something that we need to think of. You can see that in 2020, halving the yellow area there, what happened is that all-time high after that was actually reached in 2021 November. You can see here we have 2021 September, and then we have October where the price shot up. Also, you can see this bigger green candlestick here, and thereafter October came. Although it closed bearish, but the highest price the market hit then was $69,000 US dollars. And then now I'm highlighting that with this horizontal red, green line. I just plotted that line to show you the all-time high that we had since 2020 halving, which actually took place in 2021 November. So from November, then the market started crashing, and it fell up until November of 2022, business partners, whereby the market actually hit 15,000 US dollars, and I'm indicating it by this red trend line, which shows you a negative gradient, which shows you that money was coming out of the Bitcoin market. So it's downwards. The price actually fell from there, 69,000 US dollars. You can see it on the right hand side here, in line with the green line, a green horizontal line there. It shows you 69,000 US dollars there. But the bottom red horizontal line, if you check at the far right hand side, it shows you 15,000 US dollars. So it means it's possible that the price can fall very hard, for instance, and that's what transpired then. But there are a lot of things that make us think differently with regards to the halving of 2024 business partners, because in 2020 Bitcoin had not gained a lot of traction like it did now. In 2020 we didn't hear of America, like the SEC, which is the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, approving Bitcoin ETFs. ETFs, those are exchange traded funds. And also they did approve Ethereum ETFs. So which means then we're looking at more money actually flowing into the blockchain products, for instance, of blockchains projects or space. So which means this is actually going to drive the price up. But that may not just happen in a straightforward manner. We are still waiting. We are watching how actually the market is going to respond towards that. So now, with that being highlighted, what we want our business partners to look at and also to respect is that the halving of 2020, when it occurred, Bitcoin was around 9,000 US dollars. You can see here on the first yellow line where the yellow candlestick actually crosses our candlestick, which is green there. The price there was around 9,000. So if I'm hovering like this, my cursor over that, at the far right hand side, you can see that actually there's a price moving up and down below the, you see there's a red price here of 15,000, and there's a green price here And then below it, when I'm hovering on the yellow candlestick, you can see the price there shows you 9,000 US dollars or so. So that is the halving of 2020. And then the price actually pumped up to 69,000 US dollars. But what is it that is happening today, business partners, is that halving took place in 2020, and thereafter the market pumped. An all-time high was hit the year after, which was 2021. So, and that was in November 2021, where we had 69,000 US dollars. But now, what is it that we are learning differently for the current halving, or in this year 2024, which is the one that took place on the 20th of April 2024? You see now the second yellow vertical line shows the month of April 2024, which is the month in which halving of Bitcoin took place. To be precise, the 20th, depending on your time zone. Where in South Africa, it was on the 20th of April when that happened. So now, what are we learning, business partners? We are learning that people knew that 2024 is a special year. 2024 is a year whereby Bitcoin is going to be pumping. That's what people knew. And as a result, there was a positive sentiment, market sentiment with regards to this year being a special year, for instance, halving of Bitcoin. And what happened then is that the 69,000 US dollars, which was the all-time high that was achieved in November of 2021, was actually hit by Bitcoin. Imagine Bitcoin recovered from 15,000, which happened in November of 2022. Bitcoin recovered from that. And remember, 2021 November until 2022, the market has just been bearish. This is what it was, just winter season, for instance. And then from there, we started seeing the Bitcoin price rising. I could have actually plotted another trend line here that is green, but I didn't want to populate this chart with a lot of lines crossing and so forth, business partners. So the information I'm giving you, where you don't see the horizontal lines indicating the price and so forth, please just understand that we didn't want the chart to be over crowded by highlights or indicators and so forth. But now what we can see is that from 2022 November, the price began to recover from 15,000 US dollars. This red line, horizontal line here, shows you the lowest point Bitcoin fell from November of 2021 to November of 2022, which was just a bearish season. I remember I was in Royal Q then. I was already in Royal Q, and a lot of people were frustrated by the dump, by the crash of Bitcoin. Imagine from 69,000 to 15,000. A lot was happening during that time, and a lot of things that I can't even have enough time to mention on this, because I don't want to spoil this particular highlight that I'm doing here, business partners. So companies even shut down in the blockchain space because of Bitcoin was crashing. And there are different factors actually that led to such and so forth. Some businesses are not sustainable, and as a result, I'm speaking of the ROI platforms, that is return on investment platforms. They crashed and they disappeared with the winter season, or the bear season of 2021 November to 2022 November, for instance, when Bitcoin was crashing from 69,000 to 15,000. So now we began to see Bitcoin rising from 15,000 and so forth. It kept on pumping, business partners. It kept on pumping, and looking also going into 2023, you can see September of 2023, and these business partners, this is line number, the last part one, so to speak, or let me say line number 1, 2, 3, 4. Line number 4 from the left. Remember, market moves from the left to the right. All the candlesticks you are seeing, it's history, business partners. That is why the last white line has nothing on the right-hand side here, because this is history, and nobody knows if the price will pump, that is moving upward, or it will dump, that is actually falling, and so forth. You see? So now, as a result, nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. Nobody knows what's going to happen in October, so to speak. You know, whether this is going to really pump due to money coming into a blockchain space and so forth. There are so many various reasoning behind the price pumping, for instance, apart from just the halving only, because of, you know, we believe and we know that blockchain is the future of money. But what I want you to see is this. The current yellow line, which shows us the halving of this year, 2024, you can see that in March, the yellow line, it's in April 2024. You can say before the yellow line, it means we have March. And that candlestick, the March of this year, the price of Bitcoin broke above the horizontal green line on top there, which is actually indicating the all-time high since the halving of 2020, you know, which was actually reached in November of 2021. And we can see here, 2021 was a year after the halving of 2020, which means 2025 is the year after the halving of this year. So we are still actually more bullish for the coming year, because in 2020, when halving took place in May, that first yellow line, we could see that the price continued to pump, yes, which is what we believe that it will continue to pump also in the remainder of this year, 2024. I'm speaking of now looking at September, towards the end of September, going into October, November, December, for instance, you see. But we still believe that this should spill over into 2025, where all-time high must be reached before the price begin to actually correct, moving downwards, before the price can begin to fall, for instance, you see. But today, business partners, the level of exposure that Bitcoin has, it's different to the one that Bitcoin had in 2020. You know, a lot of things are taking place with regards to regulations, and this also actually it's preparing for the institutional investors, for them to channel massive amount of liquidity, money into the blockchain space. So now, what are we seeing here? We can see that when halving took place this year in April, the Bitcoin price had already broken above all-time high. It had already broken above all-time high of 2021. That is that green line. You can see this particular candlestick here where I'm hovering is March 2024. For you to see it's March 2024, you look at the bottom here. You know, when I touch a candlestick, look at the bottom, you see it shows you Friday 0, meaning Friday 01 March and so forth. But we are interested in the month and not the day. So now you can see this was in March 2024. Bitcoin price hit and broke above 69,000 US dollars. It went up to the price of 73,000 US dollars. Before the halving, Bitcoin hit 73,000, and then halving happened the followed month, which is April. We have seen it was on the 20th of April. So what are we learning now? It shows us that there are other factors that are influencing the blockchain space, especially the Bitcoin price, other than just the halving only, but the traction that Bitcoin is gaining, the interest that governments of different countries, the world powers actually are giving, the attention that they are giving to Bitcoin, for instance. That's what is happening. We've also seen the former CEO of Binance, for instance, being arrested due to AML, that is anti-money laundering, and not only that, we've also seen the issue of approval of the ETFs and so forth. And a lot of work is being done actually to prepare institutional investors to come into this space. In South Africa here, we shouldn't be surprised very soon seeing Bitcoin ETFs, for instance, being listed on Johannesburg stock exchanges and so forth. And not only that, seeing Bitcoin, maybe people being able to buy Bitcoin from within their bank apps. We should see such developments taking place. And what does that mean, business partners? It means easy of access, into the blockchain space. People being able to take money into Bitcoin just like that with ease. What will that mean? It means more bullish momentum, more pump in Bitcoin price. But also, let's understand that the fact that Bitcoin did so well before halving of this year, it can also indicate that Bitcoin can also begin to fall due to people easily collecting their profits because they've done so much and they believe that maybe Bitcoin can be on a downtrend before it pumps again, in preparation for the next year and so forth. Because we have seen, business partners, we shouldn't forget that in November of 2021, it was November, it means then October, November, December, 3 months before the end of the year in 2021, many people thought the price of Bitcoin was going to hit 100,000 before December of 2021. That is where the Elon Musk, Donald Trump, whatever they will tweet will have an influence over the blockchain space. But even though they made such outrageous projections, for instance, with regards to Bitcoin price pumping to that 100,000 US dollars. Bitcoin has never reached 100,000 US dollars to date. Do you understand? Irrespective of the influencers who are actually ushering such positive market sentiment and so forth. So business partners, it's important that we don't just trade what we hear, but we should do our best to trade what we see more than anything else. So what we are seeing at the moment is that the previous halving of 2020 price was way low compared to where the price is today. An all-time high had not been reached yet when that halving took place. But today's or the current halving that happened in April, the all-time high was already hit and broken above that, when the halving took place in April. So at the moment, the market has been actually correcting. The market has been just declining like that. As it declines like this, it means somehow money is coming out of this, but the market is still holding, because you can see at the moment it's around 58,000 US dollars. It doesn't just dump like that. It was only in August last month. You can see here in August, the price went down to 49,000 US dollars. So now, with this being highlighted to all of us here, we can see how the market formation has been, and then how the difference actually in the previous halving of 2020 and the current halving, and what is happening globally and so forth, business partners. It means now we should prepare better for our trades, and then we should trade with caution. None of us should find themselves, in a position whereby we put so much money into Bitcoin without trading through margin calls, and we see it crash to levels that we may not actually be able to bear. For instance, you see, what I love about Bitcoin is that it easily recovers within a space of 2 to 3 years. Bitcoin is able to redeem itself just like that, without any special campaign and so forth, because of the manner in which the blockchain is of Bitcoin. So now, with these business partners, let's prepare for the remainder of this year. Starting today is the 3rd of September. We have October, and then we don't know if November will do better like in the previous halving. We really don't know what's going to happen, but let's be mindful of the fact that this current halving, it's at a higher high. It is at a higher high. The highest price, remember, that Bitcoin reached was 73,000. And we are just close to that, so to speak. 58,000 is not far from 73. You know, so with that being indicated, it means now we should trade with that precaution, that we must have a serious caution that it might happen that the market can correct. The market can actually begin to go down, but the best way we can do for ourselves is to trade this through margin calls. Just like our Signature Smart SBMRTS is the one that is actually going to help us go through this remainder of the year without a roller coaster of emotions, so to speak. And should Bitcoin pump to 100K this year, which is something unprecedented, you know, let it be. We will celebrate, but it shouldn't affect our plan. We should stick to the plan and trade this Bitcoin through margin calls, and then looking at our Bollinger Bands, and at the lower lows, putting a substantial amount of USDT through our multiple buy-in ratios so that we collect better profits as it happens. So this is something that I wanted us to actually look at, and we will also now open the floor for Q&A and get ready to also share screens, and let's look at our positions. So this one is just going to be a clip that we will share with everybody so that people look at how the price has been moving. You know, the base currency are those candlesticks. That is the Bitcoin price. The pricing currency is on the right-hand side here. Vertically, we're looking at what? The USDT. That is where the price is here. Now you can see up, down, then up, down, to where we are. Today, we are up there. We are hovering. We are just below that 73,000 US dollars. Remember, Bitcoin has never reached 100,000 as yet. It might do it this year, it's possible, and it might also not do it. But that for us, it's immaterial because we trade through our margin calls. We use that signature strategy approach, and we only place a better amount of multiple buy-in ratios when we see it being profitable to do so. So imagine, business partners, should Bitcoin crash from up here, falling to maybe 40,000, and so, you know, none of us should suffocate, so to speak. And then if it moves up again to pump even to above 73,000, we will still be trading it with our plan so that we continue to make money when more money comes into the space, and we continue to accumulate even better assets when the price goes down. We are traders, you know, we are more than just investors. So we benefit from the price fluctuation. Volatility is more money for us. So, but we shouldn't find ourselves as the market actually plummets and then all the money is trapped at the higher highs. So that's how it is, business partners. You may have your own objections to this. Please, we appreciate sharing. It's important because we learn from one another, just as iron sharpens iron. So thank you so much for that. I would like to please to open the session for Q&A, and then from there we can also look into our trade settings from the Royal Q space. Thank you. So that we have done, and now looking into Royal Q business partners, welcome. I see great leaders there, Mashima, Leader George, please welcome. And yeah, we are here. We are looking at how things have been. We wanted to keep this on record so business partners are able to watch. And as you are watching, business partners, price is at the level of the candlesticks. The price is according to the candlesticks. Where you don't see a candlestick, it means the price was not there in that time or at that time or in that month. You see, where it's blank, it means the price was not at that level in that particular month. You see, so the price was according to the candlesticks. Where the candlestick traveled is where the price was, whether low or up. And it's just as simple as that. Hence, on the right-hand side of the last white vertical line, we see no candlesticks, because that is history, which is yet to be told. You know, nobody knows if today's month is going to be bearish or it's going to be bullish. You know, it's possible that this September can close negative or it can close positive. And there are a lot of things that can actually, why is it that the price is not crashing at the moment? You know, I don't know. You know, I don't know. Why is it not pumping? I don't know. But what I know is that I'm trading and I'm holding positions, and I will make money according to what is happening in this space, for instance. So this is what makes trading more interesting, because nobody really knows what will happen between now and tomorrow. So it might happen that even from now, the coin pumps or it can dump, but that could actually be immaterial for those who have a plan in terms of their trading strategy, because we always create room for more in whichever direction. If the market pumps harder, then we collect more profits. If the market dumps, then we buy even more at the lower lows. So as a trader, see to it that you are always liquid to take advantage of price movement. We benefit from the fluctuation. So people are looking at it. Please remember, this is a monthly time interval. So each and every candlestick you see there represents a month, you know, of a certain year. Hence, the white vertical lines indicate Septembers of different years. There can only be one September in a month. Hence, our first September at the far left is a September of 2020. The second September moving to the right, that is the white line there, is a September of 2021. And then we have the September, the third one, of 2022. And we have the September of 2023, that was last year. And now we have, can you see the September of last year? Closed bullish, because where the white line of 2023 cuts through the candlestick there, business partners, is green. Please, those of you who are watching on your phone, you can zoom in. You can use your fingers to open further so that you see the colors that I'm talking about. You can slide upwards and downwards so that you see everything, and then zoom out again so that you are able to see all these other things that I'm sharing with you. So you have that liberty to manipulate your screen, to enlarge it with your fingers, your forefinger finger and your thumb. You can enlarge and so forth. Or the middle finger there, you can enlarge and move, you know, and see different figures as I'm sharing with you. So now you can see that the previous September, that is of 2023, business partners, the market was actually bullish, although not much liquidity went into the Bitcoin price. But we can see that the market in that September, the previous September of 2023, the market closed bullish, and October thereafter, the market pumped. You know, now imagine people are looking forward to the bull run of 2024, because in September from there, people always, oh, September marks, you know, the pump. Because remember also, it's the last quarter of the year. You know, people who didn't do well during the year, they want to see to it that they actually harvest even better for the remainder of the year. And that has an influence over the crypto markets in terms of price movement. This has always been the case, you know, but, you know, we've seen with 2021, you know, after the halving of 2020, we've seen that the highest price reached was 69, which was in October. You know, I mean, it was in November. You know, it was in November. And Christmas, many people were in a floating loss because they listened to what Elon Musk and other influencers said, that Bitcoin by December was going to hit 100,000. Some went in with their eyes closed with big monies, because they wanted to have a fat Christmas. And it didn't happen like that. The price kept on going down and going down up until a duration of 12 months, November to November of 2022. Imagine from 69,000 to 15,000. Some people at that level were convinced that, oh, this thing is going to 10,000. Some they were saying you are playing, it's going to 5,000. And someone said, no, Bitcoin is crashing. You know, so many things happen. But today I'm talking to you. I say, no. Bitcoin will never see that level of 10 or 15,000 again. No, it will never see that level of 15,000. You know, that will never happen again. You know, I don't see it coming, because I'm into this business. You are into this business, and there are people who have more money than us who understand the importance of Bitcoin, and they know that this thing is able to recover in a short space of time. There are coins, business partners, during the winter season of 2021. When I say the winter season of 2021, I'm speaking of that trend line. You can call it the diagonal line if you like. That red one. You see, I'm not indicating it. Let me just quickly go and indicate. There are a lot of coins during this duration. You see from here, from 69,000. Remember, the green line here shows you to the far right-hand side. It shows you that the price was 69,000 US dollars. The pricing currency, business partners, is USDT. Please never forget that. You can see even on top here, they're showing you USDT. It means all the numbers you see here, these are USDTs. If you look here, all what I'm hovering here, 30,000 USDT, which is equivalent to United States dollars. You see? So all these things, if you want to see what price Bitcoin was at a certain level of the candlestick, you have to check at the far right. And at the moment, you see, if you use your eyes, the far right, where my cursor is, you know, where my cursor is through my mouse, so to speak, it shows you 44,142 US dollars and 57 cents. If I start moving my mouse, the cursor will move, and then along the candlestick, now you see the price, it's moving. Oh, okay. There was the current price where the blue one is the current price rather. But look when my cursor moves, check. I'm hiding the current price in blue there. It's because my cursor is where I don't know if you can see. No, this is not the current price. I beg your pardon. No, the current price is up there. I'm looking at different pages. I'm with you now. The current price is up there where there's 57. I'm hiding the current price. I'm hiding the current price. And how do you see the current price? Is the red dotted line. There's a red dotted line here. It shows the current price. And the blue one, the one of 44,000, the one of 44,000 is the moving average. It is the moving average, business partners. It's the moving average under a monthly time frame. This is a Bollinger Bands indicator. Sorry, I'm opening a lot of pages, so I could see that the page I was in is not a page I'm sharing. So I'm with the page where I'm sharing now. The blue line here, I mean the blue price that you are seeing of 44,141 US dollars and 92 cents. That is the moving average. Imagine, it means that is the moving averagely accepted price of Bitcoin at the moment from the monthly time frame. So which means at the moment we are above the moving average. You know, it means people who want to make even better money would want to buy Bitcoin around 44,000. Just think about that, business partners. And there are people who don't want to see Bitcoin at the price of 44,000. But according to the formulas of the Bollinger Bands, because this is according to the opening and the closing prices of these candlesticks, for instance, it shows us that the moving average is around 44,000. So at the moment, we are above moving average. So which means if the price falls and it hits 44, it will still be generally accepted, so to speak. So these are the things that will make you, when you trade, to trade with that level of respect to price movement, for instance, business partners. At the moment, our current price is here. where you see price action in what color there? It's actually in 57,000. I'm trying to indicate that $57,915.01. That is the current price, where the dotted red line is, which just shows you that at the moment, this month, the price is bearish. The price is actually in the green, in the red, so to speak. It means market is lower than the price it opened at. It opened at this month of September. So this is what is happening, business partners. Exciting times, but we shouldn't forget that we are at the higher highs. Remember, the highest price Bitcoin hit was the price of, let me just indicate it, 73,000 US dollars. I'm going to use a horizontal ray to indicate that the highest price Bitcoin reached. And here it is. And then let me use a different color for it. I don't know, can I use another green? Yes, I'm just using another green there. So I've just done it. So that is the highest price Bitcoin reached, business partners. So now you can see yourself that all-time high, it means in the history of Bitcoin, you know, it has never reached above that 73,835 US dollars. You see. So what does that mean? We are playing around an area where people have gotten the most out of Bitcoin. So those people before or towards the end of this year, they can make reasons to sell their Bitcoin so that they enjoy their Christmas time, their festive season, and come back in Jan and collect some more profits by buying low. I'm just giving an example here. Such is a possibility. Such is a possibility. So which means we are trading at the higher high. We are trading around the area where Bitcoin is actually overbought. You know, it is just as simple as that. So we need to then have that understanding that should anybody or people who are hodling Bitcoin decide to sell it off, I'm speaking of people who bought maybe Bitcoin around 2022, you know, or 2023, business partners. People who bought Bitcoin around 2023, all of them, they are floating in profit. They are all floating in profit because look, September of 2023, Bitcoin was around 26,000. Check at the far right hand side where the price is moving up and down. You see 26,027, September of last year, 2023. Bitcoin was around 27,000. So anybody who bought Bitcoin then, you know, and they're just holding it, if they decide to sell it off today, they are in profit, good profit. Imagine you bought it around 26,000 and today that thing is 57,000. If you decide to sell it because you don't want to get into emotional bondage of what happens in terms of the crash, you know, collect your profits now. You know, and when you do this, you don't need permission to those who are holding big position, hoping that it will push further to 100,000, for instance, because nobody has given us a certificate for that, you know, so to speak, a guarantee that it will hit that, you know. So that's how it is. When Bitcoin did not reach 100,000 in December of 2021, Elon Musk was never affected. He continued with his businesses as usual. So even ourselves, we should continue to trade, even when Bitcoin does not break above 73,000, for instance, for the remainder of this year, you know. But we know that the bull run must happen, but we also know that a lot has happened already. We are in the area of oversold. We are in the area of higher high. We are currently trading above the moving average on the monthly time frame, and that moving average, it's that blue indicator there. Let me check it from my phone if I'm able to see it nicely, like I'm showing you on my phone. That blue indicator is 44,000, yes, 143 $1.12 or so. It keeps on changing. I'm looking at it from there. That is the moving average price, business partners, according to this indicator. So I think it's very important that we trade with this in mind as we come into this business partners. And it's beautiful, it's exciting, and we're still going to see amazing things happen. So don't forget, all-time high of Bitcoin is 73,000. Currently, we are trading around 57,000. So we are so close to that. So therefore, people who came in around after, say, around after November 2022, all of those people are floating in good profits. You know, and if they lose hope that this thing is not going to pump to a bigger price, they are scared of what happened in 2021. You know, when Bitcoin crashed in November, you know, they will collect profits now. And if they collect profits now, those people, the price will go down because they will be dumping it. And they are having big monies. And then after the festives, they can come in and push the price up again and enjoy the ride. So that's what it is. But if institutional investors bring massive money into this, the price will go up despite what individual traders do, for instance, or hodlers, those who are holding. And that's what is happening, business partners. Thank you so much, actually, for this. I think we can just stop the recording and let's go to a Q&A session, because I'm looking at the time. It's now 5 minutes past. We have about 10 minutes to engage on Q&A. And I'm of the opinion that you have seen things that will help you in terms of decision making and also sticking to your strategy in terms of trading. So now what we will do is we're going to create a session where questions can be asked by those who are present in here. I stop the recording so that this is not long when we're going to upload it and people can interact even on the comment sections and so forth, and we learn from one another.